everyone, I'm Beulah Scott, occupational therapist, and we have Michael Horsley, our certified vestibular physical therapist. And today we're back as we had said to discuss the assistive devices or walking devices. And we have a few here, we don't have all of them. So I'm just going to quickly go and name the different ones. And obviously they are prescribed for various different reasons. Which your therapist may recommend for you. So we have the straight cane, we have a quad cane, which has 4 things at the bottom there. We have a hemi walker, and we have a 2-wheeled walker here. And so we don't have a standard walker and a 4-wheel walker here with us. So we were talking about, what different topics we needed to talk about in this one. Whenever we go out in the community or at the store, sometimes we see people with assistive devices that are set either too high or too low. So it increases the risk for falls, and it also makes it very difficult. So sometimes you may see people walking with these like that there, and it really at those times you really want to go up to them as a therapist and say, oops, maybe you should adjust that, but we have to obviously withhold that information as we do not know the particular person's problems, and I'm sure a lot of therapists can relate to that. So Michael's going to talk about setting up the walker the appropriate way.
Yes, okay. So we're going to do the walker. But all of them are adjusted to the same height measurements that the walker is. So the first thing that's most important is you want the person to be standing in the best posture, the best upright posture that they can be standing in. A lot of people are naturally bent over with age, but you want them to stand as tall as they can for the measurement time. Then what you do is you have them hang their arm by the side of the walker here. And this one's actually set up perfectly. The top of the walker should be right at the crease of the wrist, on the inside of the wrist. So that's where they should be. Or like I said, if it's the cane, the top of the cane should be there. And this one's set up, but if it needs adjustment down at the bottom, most every device that's adjustable is adjusted the same way. You have a button here and you click it in and you go down or up one at a time. You have to make sure that each one is on the same hole, and then that makes it stable for you, because if one's off it can be a little rocky. So that's the basics on adjusting a walker.
And then we also have sliders that you can get at any local pharmacy that they may have, and these just have a better ability to slide and less risk of hooking onto different maybe carpet and stuff like that.
And they last a lot longer than people use tennis balls a lot of times. The concrete generally eats through that within a short period of time. These sliders last for a long time comparatively.
And so your physical therapist or occupational therapist may recommend a particular device. Mostly, when physical therapy is working on gait training, they would recommend a particular device. They would suggest to you whichever one works appropriately, and it obviously will be different for different diagnoses. So you want to first check with your therapist prior to just going to buy or choose a device and start, setting it up. You want to make sure that it is the appropriate and the safest device for you. So we're just providing some information, as one size does not fit all when it comes to assistive devices. So if your neighbor or a family member is no longer using it, and then you just bring it over and start using it, it may actually not be safe, and it may make it more difficult to actually work. So that's a quick run through of setting up, and we'll come to you next week with fall prevention and talk about falls next week. Okay, thank you for listening, and you may like us on Facebook and share this video. Thank you.